Who's hot? We're hot! Who's hot? We're hot!
The Chairman's Award 2005.
Let's celebrate the heroes of tomorrow. Team 67, the hot team, General Motors and Huron Valley Schools.
What makes a hero? Fancy tights? Hitting it out of the park? Defeating the forces of evil? Ask Dean Kamen.
Heroes are people that do extraordinary things, hopefully to make the world a better place for the people around them. At first, our heroes are the Chairman's Award winners.
Who's hot? We're hot!
67 puts the pedal to the metal when it comes to building a team, with its dedicated parents, teachers, engineers, and longtime sponsor, General Motors.
Getting to work at GM has been a really interesting thing. Not a lot of people in our community are able to get into the proving grounds, and it's really amazing that we have been able to.
I got into the program because as director of our proving ground, I couldn't hire engineers and technicians. They just weren't there. And now General Motors runs 42 teams, and you can really get outstanding engineers that we're so desperately short of.
Who's hot? We're hot!
Team 67 has a very dynamic relationship with our community. So we've been involved with local businesses, road cleanups, river cleanups. We're really out there in terms of being in the community and being visible.
Like wildfire, the heroes of tomorrow spread the word.
Casey is our community service robot. We want to take it to like hospitals, and we didn't want it to be scary for little kids. We actually just learned how to make balloon animals so that we could give them to little kids and everything. It was really great.
I proudly display a little Lego Judges Award. On top of that Judges Award is the Hot Team cap. And believe me, it has spurred a lot of imagination among state senators.
Go first!
Heroes of sportsmanship, gracious professionalism, team spirit. Hot 67 is all about helping others.
At regionals, we give out peer awards to encourage team spirit and great engineering.
Team 406, Mumford, they lost their sponsorship and needed some help getting started.
We went to them and they just came to us with open arms and they accepted us in and they let us come to where they were building their own robot.
And they helped build our robot in 9 days.
Who's hot? You're hot!
Heroes of tomorrow share what they know.
It's great to pass on what you learn from robotics to younger students. Every year we help set up and volunteer for the Michigan State Lego League competition.
First has truly contributed to encouraging women to go into engineering, because a lot of the young women who see it see other women who are engineers helping out. It lets them know that if they can do it, I can do it.
Who's hot? We're hot!
I've seen kids that have come back to me in later years and said, if it weren't for being on this team, I'd be selling burgers and flipping fries right now. Instead, I'm working on an engineering degree. That's the kind of stuff that makes a hero. And heroes aren't just on Team 67, they're on all the teams that are out there in first.
Who's hot?
We're hot! Who's hot?
We're hot! Who's hot?
How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Go first!
That's hot.
district competitions across the state of Michigan, 64 elite teams earned their way here to the state championship event. As elimination play begins, some teams will advance, some will take a place in the stands, as robots hand-built for speed, toughness, reach, and dexterity compete in a challenging new game that will push the machines and their teams to the absolute limit. Who will represent our state at the World event? Find out right now on the First in Michigan Robotics Championship powered by Chevrolet.
And welcome to the Convocation Center at Eastern Michigan University. I'm Jimmy Rhodes, and I'm thrilled to be joined by a gentleman here with a superlative knowledge of the FIRST Robotics game, the teams, and the strategy on the field, Paul Copioli. Paul, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jimmy.
Now listen, there are 171 robotics teams in Michigan.
Yes.
Only 64 have made it here to Ypsilanti for the state championship event, and only 12 remain in our broadcast. What's the level of play we're going to see?
So you're going to see the best of the best here, Jimmy. These are the top teams in the state of Michigan, and quite frankly, arguably the top teams in the world. You're going to see crazy strategies. You're going to see every second of play utilized. Every move will have a purpose, and at the end of the day, 3 teams, the best of Michigan, will be left standing.
Fantastic. Well, let's find out a little something about the game we're playing today. It's called Logo Motion.
As the name suggests, Logo Motion literally puts the FIRST Robotics logo in motion. Basically build the first logo for points. But there are some twists to keep in mind. The first 15 seconds of every match is the autonomous period. Players cannot touch the controls. The robots are programmed to hang yellow Uber tubes, which are worth points now and possibly later. For the rest of the match, drivers control robots and try to maximize their alliance score by hanging as many logo pieces as possible. The higher the teams hang their game pieces on their scoring grid, the more points their alliance receives. Any logo piece hung on the same peg as an Uber tube receives double points. And completed first logos double the points for that entire logo. In the final 10 seconds of every match, teams can deploy mini-bots onto vertical climbing poles. The first mini-bot to the top earns 30 bonus points, with declining scores for every subsequent robot to reach the top.
Okay, and Paul, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the rules, right?
Yes, that is, Jimmy. There's penalties in this event, and there's scoring zones and scoring lanes, feeding lanes as we call them. You cannot go in an opponent's feeding lane or scoring zone, but we'll get into the details of those penalties as the matches progress.
Very good. Right now, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Heather Zara. Heather.
Jimmy and Paul, here are the players that you're going to see through the plexiglass. Each alliance is made up of 3 teams. Now, there are 2 drivers on each team. One is usually in charge of moving the robot across the field. The other is in charge of the arms and the grips. Now, behind them, you will see an analyst and also a coach to kind of help guide them through strategy throughout the game. Across the field, you'll have 2 feeders that can hand those game pieces directly to them through the slots, but more often than not, you'll see them hurled across the field. Back over to you.
Thanks, Heather. But right now, our first semifinal match is about to begin. So, Paul, let's meet those teams.
Let's meet the teams in this first semifinal pairing, beginning with the Red Alliance. From Holland High School, it's Team Chaos. From Waterford Kettering High School, it's the Captains. And from Northville High School, it's the Robo-Stangs. And on the Blue Alliance, from Rochester Adams and Stony Creek High Schools, it's the Adambots. From Bedford High School, it's the Bedford Express. And from the Clarkston Schools and CSM Tech Academy, it's Team Rush.
Okay, Paul, we have all 6 robots on the field are on the move with their
That's
Uber
right.
tubes.
And Team 27 from Clarkston, they actually missed their Uber tube in autonomous, which is rare for them. And the Red Alliance jumps out to a quick lead, getting all 3 Uber tubes. Remember, that's the number 8 seed that upset the number 1 seed in the quarterfinals.
So we have an underdog in this semifinal match. Now, what's happening? Quite a scrum going on there in the middle of the field.
So basically, everybody's jockeying for positions. They're backing up into the middle of the field to try to get as many tubes as they can. So the Red Alliance is trying to steal every tube they can from the middle, and the Blue Alliance is really just trying to do the same thing. So with the feeder lanes, that is the X factor here. If you can utilize your feeder lanes where you're protected from grabbing tubes, then that's to your advantage. But the Blue Alliance is out quick, almost making their first logo. It's up and over, and it's good. So 27 from Clarkson. They just made a 30-point logo.
And they did it in really fast time there.
And at the same time, though, the Red Alliance, they made a 42-point logo because they have 2 Uber tubes. So right now, the Blue Alliance is really down by 12 if they both complete those logos, which the Red Alliance is just about to do, and they do, and the Blue Alliance has done that too. So this is going to come down to mini-bots, and really, quite frankly, the Blue Alliance has to take first and second.
If they don't take first and second in that mini-bot, when do they start abandoning the grids, Paul, to start jockeying for position?
They're going to have to go last second because this is tube for tube. The Red Alliance is just scoring. The Blue Alliance, same thing. They're almost dead even. And that 548 drop is going to make it closer because their 27 is going to try to score on that rack. And both the Red and Blue Alliance are trying to complete their logos. Blue Alliance has 4 logos right now.
So that looks like the Red Alliance is about to complete their 4th logo. If they can line up here, they're having trouble getting on the peg, and there they complete it.
Right. Now 245's gone early, and so has the captains at 548 because they have the fastest mini-bots out here.
Now they're positioning themselves for the mini-bot race.
So we'll see. It's going to come down to mini-bots again. Red Alliance gets first and third. The Blue Alliance has to get that up.
Boy, oh no, and it falls off the feeder. Oh, that's tragic.
That is tragic. But again, it really didn't much matter.
Well, tell me what, Paul, what do you think this came down to? What was the deciding factor? Did it happen after autonomous when they had that Uber tube lead?
Uber tubes. It's all the 12 points in Uber tubes. It really causes the team who's down on Uber tubes to scramble, and they have to wait last minute to try to score as many extra points as possible, which puts them at a disadvantage when they get to the poles. The Red Alliance wins 143 to 106. Again, 45 points to 20 for the mini-bot race.
Okay, Paul, these same 2 alliances, they're lined back up. They're ready to play their second match.
The Blue Alliance, to me, I know what they need to do. They need to stop the Red Alliance from getting to that mini-bot pole. Here comes semifinal 1, match number 2, Jimmy.
All right, it looks like we have 6 robots on the move, Paul. The all going top shelf, as you would expect.
So the Red Alliance, steady as can be, score those 3 Uber tubes again. Wow. That number 8 seed is really doing well.
Oh, no.
Another miss by the Blue Alliance again, down 2 Uber tubes to 3. That could be devastating.
Yeah, the Atom bots, they had it right there on the peg. It just seemed to slip off at the end.
And I tell you, Jimmy, that's human error there. That was a bad alignment by their human coaches.
So in other words, when they placed the robots on the field at the beginning of play, that was the mistake then?
That was the mistake. That's what it looked like to me.
Okay, now we have 1 Uber tube covered up over there on the blue grid. We have the 3 Uber tubes uncovered on the red. What's happening in the middle of the field, Paul?
Middle of the field, they're trying to jockey for position, so when the human players throw those tubes out to the middle of the field, they can grab the tube faster than the next team. It looks like 1023, the team from Bedford, they are playing defense on the captains. Now, if they're smart, they're going to stay on the captains the entire match and not allow the captains from 3098, they're Waterford Kettering High School, to get to the mini-bot pole. The captains are very, very fast with their mini-bot. Now, look at the Blue Alliance. They're really scoring fast. They have 2 logos already, and the Red Alliance does not have 1 yet. So the Blue Alliance is really, really turning it on this match to try to stop them. The human players from both teams, the Red Alliance had bad luck. See there, the white tube bounced over the wall. We may be taking a look at that later, but the Blue Alliance is really, really dominating the tubes. They are going for another middle row logo, and the Red Alliance finally has made 1 logo, but critical, the Red Alliance does not have a logo on the top row.
They do have over to the right.
But they do not have it on their double Uber tube row.
Oh, they got to have it on that double Uber.
And 1023 Bedford, look at what they're doing here. They're playing keep away with the triangle. And the,
oh, my gosh.
And the Robo-Stangs and the captains have to go to the pole. 74, they have to get this one up. They have to score this earn, and they did.
Get it in there.
Huge clutch.
And now here come the
Blue Alliance, so first and second place. The mini-bots are everything.
That is huge to get both first and second, and they didn't get any up the pole. How did that happen when they had taken position so early, Paul?
Well, you know, sometimes the mini-bots are fickle. They're small, they're fast, and sometimes they're not reliable. I think the big key over here for Red was they made that last-second make. All they really needed to do was to get those mini-bots up, and they had a big enough lead that they didn't need to win. But not scoring any, that's a 50-point difference. It's all about the mini-bots again, Jimmy. 134 to 72.
The semifinal contest is all tied up at 1 game apiece. Find out who will continue on to the finals when the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet, continues.
The Chevy Volt is an amazing car. It's electric and gas all in one car, and when you get home you can just plug it into your wall like you do your cell phone charger, and then when you're ready to use it, unplug it and go wherever you want.
Breathe, socket. Just breathe. We know it's intimidating. Instant torque, top speed of 100 miles an hour. That's one serious machine. But you can do this. Any socket can. The Volt only needs about $1.50 worth of charge a day. And for longer trips, it can use gas. So get psyched. This is a big step up from the leaf blower. Chevrolet Volt, the 2011 North American Car of the Year.
I vow to be ready to go whenever you are. I vow to work even after the sun goes down, and to take a tank of gas as far as she'll go. I vow to be the most fuel-efficient Sierra ever. And now use your $14.95 PowerTech discount to get a total value of $6,000 on the 2011 Sierra PowerTech. It's the best Sierra ever.
Welcome back to the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet. Of course, events like this don't happen without a whole lot of support along the way. And joining us now is General Motors Vice Chairman and first board member, Thomas Stevens. Thanks for being here, sir.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
It's a fantastic event. Why is this important to General Motors to put their arms around an event like this?
It's important to General Motors because these types of events expose the students to math, to science, to technology. It teaches them self-confidence, leadership skills, the kind of skills we're looking for in General Motors. And then they can take all that back, and in their decision-making process going forward, hopefully they'll choose engineering professions, math professions, things of that nature that are very important to us and to them.
Well, it sounds like you are actually seeding your own talent pool.
Exactly, exactly. It's terrific. It's really a win-win situation for everybody.
Tom Stevens, thanks for dropping by. We'll see you at the award ceremony.
Thank you for being here.
Paul, this is it. After a 6-week build, 2 district competitions, 2 days at the state championship event, it all comes down to this game. One alliance goes on to the finals. The other one will be taking a seat in the stands.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the little things in this matchup.
Here we go.
So all 6 robots are on the field moving, so this could be a 6 Uber 2 match. The Blue Alliance scores 2. The Red Alliance scores 1 for certain, 2. And it looks like the captains are not going to score 2.
A hard time disengaging, Paul,
yes.
And it didn't happen in time, so they have to pull that off, don't
That's
they?
right. So the Blue Alliance looks like they have a 3 Uber 2 to 2 lead. Again, now that will change the strategy of the Red Alliance. The Red Alliance, very fast minibots, so they really need to win the minibot race here, and they can still pull this off.
Well, this is a deciding match to find out one of our finalists.
Right, now these human players are really good. They're throwing their tubes completely across the field. There are hardly any tubes in the middle of the field here.
So we have to keep in mind that's part of the strategy is that the human feeders are on the opposite side of their team's scoring grid.
Right, so the Blue Alliance just threw a tube completely across the field, but it took a bad bounce and bounced into the Red Alliance's lane, feeder lane. So that's not really going to count.
That's the risk you take when you throw the ball.
But look at this, Jimmy. Both teams, Red and Blue Alliance, score a completed logo on their 2 Uber tube side.
Well, that's huge, but there's an uncovered Uber tube on the Blue Alliance, and that is about to be rectified right now by Team 27. They're on the spot. Team Rush completes.
And 3098, the captains out of Waterford Kettering, completed the logo on the Red Alliance. But again, the Blue Alliance has a 12-point lead. Now look at this. These logos on the middle row are really, really going to contribute. I think, Jimmy, these teams are going to be scoring till the very, very end.
It's less than 40 seconds to play, Paul. What's the play? Keep going toward the boards?
Captains have to keep scoring. The Red Alliance must keep scoring. I think the captains went back to deploy way too early. I think they had plenty of time to complete that logo. That logo is crucial. They're going to get one completed by 74. Now, 74 is fast. They are going to try to stop 27
sure
from,
enough. Yeah, they're trying to keep them
but they were unsuccessful. So the Rush is going to have plenty of time. The 74 robot needs to complete that logo, and they're not going to do it because there's no tubes.
There's 10 seconds.
Blue Alliance wins the minibot race. The Blue Alliance Alliance wins the mini-bot race. It looks like the Blue Alliance is going to move forward.
It certainly looks like blue. We're going to have to wait and see if there's any disqualifications or penalties, Paul, but this looks pretty clear-cut. What do you think turned the game?
Again, when you don't make all your Uber tubes, it throws your entire game off. I believe that the captains went back too early. They should have completed that logo on the bottom row. But again, the crucial deciding factor, 5:48. They could not get their mini-bot up. They had the fastest mini-bot here in this Alliances, and they could not get it to deploy, and that cost the match.
There it is. It's blue by a wide margin. Heather Zara is with the captains of the Blue Alliance right now. Heather.
All right, we're here with the other team to make the finals. The blue team, the underdogs who pull out this win against the team that beat the #1 seed. How excited are you guys?
I mean, this is the greatest thing that could have happened to us. This is the Michigan State Championship, the best teams in the nation, and we are right on to the finals.
All right, it's nerve-wracking because the judges were over there. They're talking. There's a couple penalties on both sides, red team and blue team. Did it kind of get to you at the last second?
It was close, but then I looked up and saw we had the first mini-bot, and I mean, it's over from there. So.
All right, well, we have our two teams that are going to the finals. Good luck and congratulations, guys. Back over to you.
We know who one of our finalists is, and when we return, the semifinals will continue with our second Alliance pairing. In this, the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet.
It's really fuel efficient, but it doesn't feel stripped down like a lot of other electric cars do. It's really comfort oriented. It's great for your average family.
All right, so dude, check this out. I got a great idea for the Camaro commercial. We start in that desert, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, what car is that? And then it's like, bam! Whoa! Super fast.
And mirrors, a whole bunch of mirrors.
I guess. But maybe it's a woman that's driving.
Hot.
Totally hot. She's blonde.
Redhead.
Or a redhead. You know, we should be in the city.
Driving fast.
Screeching through the streets.
Dodging hay bales.
No, she's in a city. I don't know why you'd have hay. But what about a chase?
Ooh, yeah, with bad guys. And a helicopter.
Right, yeah, all that stuff. It's right behind her. They're catching up. This is where the energy is, man.
Yeah, they chase her onto a roof and she flies off.
Dude, she just flies off a building?
Picture it.
Yeah, I'm picturing disaster. Like, we need an ending.
I got it. Car lands, she drives up, she's a teacher.
A teacher?
Hi, guys.
Hey, hi, Miss Sutherland. I did not see that coming.
And then
the announcer says
the 426 horsepower Camaro.
And then we're done.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet. One of the core values of First is what they call gracious professionalism. It's a powerful notion that can have an impact well beyond the field of play. In 2009, as its economy and population shifted, Pontiac was forced to consolidate its two main high schools, schools that viewed each other as arch rivals.
Pontiac Central and Pontiac Northern really never got along. We would always compete in every sport. There was always a sense of rivalry. The first year that the school came together, the whole school was pretty much in chaos.
Some of the kids like, oh, I can't talk to them. They went to Central.
There was a lot of fights. We were on lockdown several times.
But according to team leader Mike Martis, the consolidated robotics team, now called Wings of Fire, responded differently.
Both Pontiac Central and Pontiac Northern had robotics teams that by all measures are very, very high quality teams in the nation. And because they're held to a high standard, they're role models.
As soon as we came together, we became sort of a family.
We just came together immediately, talking to each other, being friends, and people are like, but aren't you from Central, aren't you from Northern? Yeah, but we're on a robotics team. We have to get along.
And it becomes contagious.
The rest of the school learned to come together like us.
This cooperative spirit led Daviana, an operator from Central, and Jorge, a driver from Northern, to blend their talents and create a force to be reckoned with.
We have to be able to communicate and understand each other's movements.
When you're at the driver's station, communication is key. If we're not talking to each other and I put the arm down too early or I bring it up too late, we could have missed a chance to score. In a 2-minute match, every second counts.
Let's meet the teams in our second semifinal pairing, beginning with the Red Alliance. From the Huron Valley Schools, it's the Hot Team. From Goodrich High School, it's More Martians. And from Notre Dame Preparatory School in Auburn Hills, it's the Killer Bees. And on the Blue Alliance, from Bishop Foley High School in Madison Heights, it's the Foley Freeze. From Hopkins High School and the AAESA Tech Center, it's the Tech Vikes. And from Oxford High School, it's the Oxford Robocats, also known as Team Torque.
This is a semifinal match. semifinal 2, match number 1. It puts the number 2 alliance versus number 3. 3 red robots go out, but the Killer Bees from Notre Dame Prep, they missed their autonomous tube. But the Blue Alliance, in the same fashion, 910 Foley Freeze from Bishop Foley High School also misses. So it's all tied up right now.
All right, and those are both top shelf Uber tubes, so basically they have the same strategy as each other, or are they going to change it up?
Well, you know, we're going to see, because they both use very unique strategies in the first round.
Yeah.
But both of them have potential to get 60 points on that top row because of the 2 Uber tubes. So again,
I see some gesticulating by some of the drivers. What are they trying to say?
They're trying to explain to each other. The Martians are trying to explain that they're trying to get around 910.
Now both Uber tubes got got covered up there on the Red Alliance.
And here comes 2054, the Tech Bikes from ASA Tech, Hopkins, Michigan. They just completed a 30-point logo on the Blue Alliance.
That is huge so far, though. This is a pretty tight match, Paul.
Yes, but it looks like the Martians of the Red Alliance, they are sitting dead. So the Red Alliance, the number 2 seed, is going 2v3.
Oh, wow. That is really difficult. You're losing a third of your team because of a malfunction.
Yes, and there it looks like they're struggling to get that triangle. But 67, the hot team from Milford, Huron Valley Schools, has a triangle, and 33, the Killer Bees, also do. But the Blue Alliance, the number 3 seed, they get another 30-point logo. They're working on the middle row logo now, which they can get a potential for 12 more points per logo.
And look at this. We have the top shelf done on both alliances. And, boy, the Red Alliance is really pretty far into their second row.
So if you notice that blue square just flew across the field, that was the red human player from Huron Valley Schools. And he throws a triangle. Look at this, 54 feet across the field. He's throwing those inflatable tubes.
It's not just the robots, is it, Paul? The human players have to be on their game as well.
That's right. And notice this, Jimmy. Look, 67 has decided they're going to ready to deploy way ahead of time. The Red Alliance says, look, we have enough points to beat these guys. Let's go ahead and win the minibot race.
They're both in position. It'll all come down to this minibot, and
so the Red Alliance gets first and second place.
That's huge.
And the Blue Alliance, you know, it's all about minibots. All about the minibots.
Well, because they were able to keep the scoring grids close enough, right?
That's right.
So, Paul, tell me what that match, in your opinion, what that turn on? Was it decided after the Uber tubes, or was it more decided just in the minibot?
Tele-op minibot. So basically, the Red Alliance has completed their logos early, and they left to go and get completely set up in their safe zones to make sure they had an uninterrupted minibot deploy.
Well, let's have a look at that right now as they, boy, yeah, there's almost 30 seconds still left on the clock.
Yeah, 30 seconds left on the clock. The Killer Bees from Notre Dame Prep and the hot team from Milford, from Huron Valley Schools, they were back already stationed at about 20 seconds.
The Red Alliance has a chance to move on in a sweep, and the Blue Alliance has its back up against the wall. Game 2 of our second semifinal pairing is next on the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet.
The Chevy Volt is kind of fit for every lifestyle. You can charge it at home, you can charge it at charging stations, and you can also rely on the gas backup method.
Good night. Good evening. What would you like to do?
Facebook newsfeed.
First post. Jennifer French. Best first date ever.
The all-new Chevy Cruze with real-time Facebook status updates. When the good news just can't wait.
Welcome back to the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet. Earlier, we met a team, Wings of Fire, that is actually in the First Robotics Hall of Fame. However, this state championship is welcoming teams from all over the state of Michigan at every level of experience.
The Norsemen, a rookie team from the small cherry farming community of Sutton's Bay, didn't know quite what to expect from their first experience building a robot.
They send us a box. Nothing's put together. None of the cords are cut. They gave us some wire and a spool and some metal pieces and told us to build a robot, basically.
We were all new to the robotics game. You don't really have to know everything to start. You can just start and figure it out as you go along.
None of the kids and none of the mentors had ever been to the competitions before.
We've had help from other teams, people with more experience than us, people in our community. I've joked before, you know, it takes a village to make a robot, and that's kind of what happened with us.
mentors like cherry farmer Steve Christensen were able to contribute their knowledge of mechanics and repair.
One of our sponsors and mentors is a machine designer and a machinist, and he came through and helped us build a pneumatic grabber, and another guy came through with 3D CAD designs and laser cutting machines, and they just dove right in and helped us. We didn't have to go outside the county.
Kind of surprising that we were a rookie team and just having to come in and do well, get a couple lucky breaks, and place really highly.
Don't be afraid to start something just because you don't know how to do it. We started with nothing, and we put together a really fine robot that did well.
Paul, Blue Alliance is a game away from elimination, so they could pull even, but there's a lot on the line. They must be feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure big time. The Red Alliance is very dominant. Even down one robot the last match, they really own that match. So the Blue Alliance really, they need to win or they're out.
Okay, and it looks like the Blue Alliance has 3 tubes on the move, but only 2.
Yes, but the Killer Bees have a 2-tube autonomous, and they're up, and they look like they're lined up, and no.
Oh, they missed.
Swing and a miss. But the Blue Alliance also missed, so it's 2 tubes to 2.
So right now it's pretty even.
Right now it's pretty even. Now look, both human players threw their tubes across the field, and it landed in the opponent's lane. So really it was a wash, but you really don't want to throw those tubes in the opponent's lane. Again, the Red Alliance threw a blue tube, and it landed on the Blue Alliance's lane. That's no good for you.
I'm seeing a part on the middle of the field there. I mean, they're really hitting each other and doing some damage at times.
Yeah, that actually looks like a tool. It looks like a socket. So I think when they were fixing their robot, they left a tool inside the robot and it fell onto the floor.
Let's update those grids because there's some scoring happening fast and furious here.
That's right. The Killer Bees are flying around the field scoring. And 9-10's playing some defense against the Killer Bees causes them to lose that tube. That's precious time. And in the meantime, 20-54 on the Blue Alliance, they cover that 42-point logo, which is humongous. So we have a 30-point logo on red, a 42-point logo in blue. So really, if both of these teams get their second logo, it'll be evened up, 60 apiece.
And check that out. As you speak, there the logos go up on the Red Alliance top shelf board.
And 20-54, the team from Hopkins, Michigan, they're going up, and they release that tube, and it's all even again. So now those middle rows and the mini-bots are going to become very important. Who can get the mini-bots first, or the logos first, will have a better shot at lining up for the mini-bots.
Okay, we're under 40 seconds. At what time do you start going for position on the mini-bot?
Well, really, if I'm the Red Alliance, I'm going back now. And the hot team is going to take a chance and try to score another logo. I think that's a mistake. 33 is going back early, so they realize that they need it. The hot team is totally pinned by 9-10, and they're stuck up. They're getting back. The 20 seconds, they have plenty of time to get back. It looks like both alliances are going to be lined up. Now,
sure enough, they took their position.
This is going to be about the mini-bot race. Who can win will win the match. Well, now, okay, look at this is interesting. The Red Alliance took first and fourth. The Blue Alliance took second and third. What that means is the Red Alliance has a 5-point lead in the mini-bot race. And they also have a completed logo. So, barring any penalties, I think the Red Alliance is going to win this in 2 matches. So they're going to be going on to the finals.
This is going to be a sweep here, but it sounds like we're going to have to wait for that official score to post, Paul. And there it is. Red team is moving on. Let's go to Heather Zara to get live reaction.
We're here with obviously the winners of the semifinal 2 round, the Red Alliance. Now, there was actually, you guys had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Team 70 had an issue with the robot. Talk about how, frustrating that is, but now how exciting that you guys pulled it together.
Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating when something like that happens. We were able to get it together, and we're just so excited that we were able to pull it off. It's just an awesome feeling.
Now you guys are the first team in the finals. How excited are you?
I'm elated. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. I mean, this is just like any sport, but even cooler. It's just so exciting. And the no ranking experiences, like a robot breaking down, just make it that much better to win.
All right, well, we're very excited to watch you in the finals. Congratulations and good luck. Back to you guys.
Okay, we have our first finalists. When we come back, we are going to go to the finals. Stick around on the first Michigan Robotics Championship powered by Chevrolet.
On the Chevy Vault, my favorite part is the technology. The radio's touchscreen. You don't need the key to start it. It's just you press the power button. I think it's just a wonderful car.
It's been called Spaceship Earth. Not a big place, but it's our place. And what happens here affects all of us. That's why when you buy a Chevrolet, we'll invest in renewable energy energy efficiency, and tree planting programs across America, reducing carbon emissions by up to 8 million metric tons over the next few years. And just one more way we can proudly say, Chevy runs deep.
Welcome back to the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet. Now, as we've seen, mentors are a crucial part of any FIRST robotics team, and you don't have to already know how to build a robot to be one. Trust me, the kids will love you for it, and you'll even make your mom proud. Growing up in Fremont, Michigan, Wayne and Jay were very close and very active, the youngest sons of Vivian Tenbrink.
They were always busy doing something, so I didn't really worry too much about them, except that one day they set the wheat field on fire.
We did all kinds of stuff together. A lot of it involved building things. One of the things that we decided that we were going to make our own cannons.
And it would shoot out whatever projectile you had in it. One time we actually did shoot a hole through the bathroom door. I guess it was good training for what we're going to do now.
Today, Wayne mentors the Fremont robotics team in West Michigan.
We are Team 1918. NC Gears, that's Newaygo County Geeks, engineering awesome robotic solutions.
Jay mentors the Goodrich teams near Flint.
So we have Team 494, which is the Martians, and Team 70, which is the More Martians.
Jay got involved in FIRST when his son was a high school student. Starting in 2006, our team came into existence. I agreed to participate on it.
We helped him to get the team started, and ever since then, it's another shared experience.
So much of what FIRST requires is exactly what we used to do as kids. It's making do with what you have and not just building something from a set of instructions. Getting involved in FIRST, it's like we're kids again.
Whether they win or lose, I am still proud of them. They're nice boys.
Paul, think about it. Yesterday morning, there were 64 teams starting out at the state championship event. Right now, we're down to only 6 teams squaring off in 2 alliances.
That's right. It's the number 2 seeded alliance versus the number 4 seeded alliance. All of these teams have been here before. We have teams that have won world championships before on this alliance.
Meet our 2011 finalists, beginning with the Red Alliance. From Rochester Adams and Stony Creek High Schools, it's the Adambots. From Bedford High School, it's the Bedford Express. And from the Clarkston Schools and CSM Tech Academy, it's Team Rush. And on the Blue Alliance, from the Huron Valley Schools, it's the Hot Team. From Goodrich High School, it's More Martians. And from Notre Dame Preparatory School in Auburn Hills, it's the Killer Bees.
Here it is, Jimmy. I'm really excited. This should be a really action-packed match.
Okay.
So the Red Alliance has scored 1 and 2. But look, the Rush robot is still contacting that tube.
Oh, they have to let go, don't they? Or else
yes,
they have to take it down. Oh, and they ran out of time.
They're giving them 3. They were not contacting. They have a huge advantage over the Blue Alliance right now.
3-1 Uber tubes. Yeah. This changes everything for the Blue Alliance. It's all defense now.
It's defense and minibot. It really is. Now, what they're going to do, though, they're an offensive-minded team. They are really going to try to keep the rack close and just completely dominate the minibot race. But look, with this big of a difference, the Blue Alliance's only hope is to either score 2 more logos on the middle rack than the Red Alliance, or stop at least one of the mini-bots on the Red Alliance from scoring.
Paul, as a coach and analyst, can you do both? Can you play defense and score aggressively at the same time, or do you have to put all your resources toward one or the other?
Well, with this alliance, these are very offensive-minded alliances, so they're not going to play defense until the very, very end on the mini-bot. The really only defense that matters is the mini-bot defense. Now, the Red Alliance, if they're self-aware, knowing that they're up big time on the tubes, as soon as they score that high row and maybe that middle row at 30 seconds, they better be back at those stations. Now look at this. The Red Alliance has 72 points on the top rack. They're dead even on regular tubes, but those 2 Uber tubes, that's a 24-point difference right now. It is it's almost insurmountable. But again, the Blue Alliance has to stop the mini-bots.
Well, if you look at the 2 grids right now, Paul, they look identical except for the Uber tubes. That is entirely the difference in this match.
That's right. And the Killer Bees are going early, which is all fine, but they need way way more than just winning the race. They need the Red Alliance to not actually deploy.
Now, why on earth are they deploying so early, or getting in position to deploy this early, Paul?
They're taking their chances, thinking that the Red Alliance is going to miss one. But I tell you, this is going to be all Uber Tube.
Okay, here we go.
So, the Red Alliance took 3rd and 4th. The Blue Alliance took 1st and 2nd.
Paul, let's take a look at a replay here. What should we call up?
So let's look at the middle row scoring of both alliances, and then take a quick look at where the mini-bot race was won.
Okay. Now, this is kind of rare, isn't it, that a middle row, rather than the upper row where the Uber Tubes were residing, that a middle row is going to come play this big a factor in the game.
Remember what I told you? The Blue Alliance needed to dominate the mini-bot race. They did that. They made up the 24 points that they were down by the Uber Tube. So that basically canceled everything out. So then it all came down to the middle rows.
Let's see the scores. Oh my gosh, a 1-point victory.
And it was the mini-bot race getting them 25-point difference. The Uber Tubes only gave them a 24-point difference.
I'm here we have a field report from Heather Zara. Let's go to her now. Heather?
We are here with the Blue Alliance. Team 70 has another problem right now with the robot. Some of the chains are loose, but they have pulled out before, so we're confident that they're going to pull out again. Very tough, tight race in the first round. 112-111. Blue team wins. Best out of 3. Back over to you.
Thank you, Heather. Now, Paul, this could be the deciding match.
That's right.
If we get a sweep by the Blue Alliance.
That's right.
Here we go.
So, autonomous, crucial. Let's see if the Blue Alliance can score more than last time.
Oh,
swing and a miss again by 33.
Oh, my.
And
Killer
the Red Alliance, they did it again.
They're not disengaging. What's happening with that?
They are. They're away. They are away.
Okay.
They are away.
So is that 3?
Yeah, that's 3. 3 for red, 1 for blue. Again, a 24-point Uber Tube advantage. Now, it's very simple for the Red Alliance. They have to keep the Blue Alliance from getting 1-2 in the mini-bot. It's just that simple.
Okay. Changes the entire strategy, as we've said all day long. What happens in autonomous changes the whole game.
Now, another strategy that the Red Alliance can employ is if they can be up on the tubes by just 1 tube.
Yeah.
All they need is 1 tube extra on that middle row. And then all they have to do is get 3rd and 4th in the mini-bot race. And I can guarantee you they're thinking about that right now. They're like 1 more tube. 1 more tube is all it takes.
Let's check in on the grid because there's been some action over there at the Red Alliance.
And the Red Alliance is motivated. They know they gave 1 away. They already completed 2 logos on the high row. But here's the blue. You know what? More than a minute left. They just completed their 2 logos. But again, they're down. And the Red Alliance is really dominating that middle row now. Red Alliance, Bedford Express, they're clearing that field of tubes. They are not allowing the Blue Alliance to get those tubes. If the tube doesn't fall in the safe zone, the Blue Alliance is just not getting that tube. I mean, it's just that simple.
That's right.
But again, they're still scoring fast.
It's a great game of keep away that happens in the middle of the field and down by those zones.
But again, look, they're close on tubes again. This is now the Blue Alliance actually is now ahead on tubes. They've completed the logo on one side with 27 seconds left. 27, Team Rush has to try to complete that logo, but they're not. They're going to say, you know what, we're going to go mini-bot, and we're going to beat you guys this time. We're going to get our mini-bots before you get yours, and we'll see what happens.
That's a risky strategy in a way, Paul. Didn't work for him last time.
Red got 1st and 4th. Now look at this. 1st and 4th gives them 5 points extra, okay? The Blue Alliance completed a logo on the middle row.
Yeah.
So it's about an 11-point differential if we take it all into play, I think. So let's see. A little bit more.
Red Alliance. I can't believe it, Paul. It's 1-1. Once again, a 1-1 tally. We are going to a 3rd and deciding rubber match.
This is the Michigan State Championship.
Well, this final match at the state championship is tied. We'll find out who will represent Michigan at the World Championship in St. Louis when the First in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet, returns.
Does the action in the State Robotics Championship have you feeling revved up about math, science, and engineering? If you're interested in starting, sponsoring, or mentoring a team, visit firstinmichigan.org for all the details.
What? Tommy fell down a well?
I did!
me stuck in a cave. Where'd he get a balloon? How'd you get trapped in the belly of a whale?
Introducing the new Chevy Silverado HD.
I didn't even know this town had a volcano.
Motor Trend's 2011 Truck of the Year.
Welcome back to the first in Michigan Robotics Championship, which is indeed powered by Chevrolet and so many sponsors who lend support to the organization and help them grow and reach more young people across the state. For General Motors, support is about hands-on commitment and mentorship, and you might even say it's a family affair.
First Robotics is the varsity sport of the mind because so many people can get involved in this at a very high level. Unlike many varsity sports, actually everybody here can go pro.
And Gina Sweet is living proof.
I am a test engineer at the battery systems lab at General Motors. First changed everything for me. It got me into my co-op position with GM, which turned into a full-time position once I graduated.
When Gina got involved in First Robotics, her dad Russ, then a General Motors engineer, became a mentor for a team called HOT.
HOT is an acronym for Heroes of Tomorrow. I was at GM for 38 years. It's my 12th year helping out one way or another with First. I'm very proud of Gina. Gina started in the Lego program, continued on in the First Robotics program with the HOT team. She was one of the few girls who actually were in the pit area at that time because there just were not as many girls in the program at the time. So they'd call her Chick in the Pit.
Russ enjoyed mentoring so much he kept at it, even after Gina graduated.
The first competition events are exciting and chaotic. It's definitely overwhelming, though, to come in the first time and just, whoa.
I believe that kids find that they learn math and science without even knowing it. They think they're just having fun.
Now it's come full circle. First helped inspire Gina to become an engineer, and now she brings real-world experience from General Motors to First as a mentor herself.
We like to say that First is a microcosm of life because you have teamwork, time management, cooperation, being able to step up to the plate in a way that you may not have been able to do before. And I've used a lot of those skills in my job at GM. I wouldn't be where I am today without First.
GM is deeply engaged with First Robotics for sure, along with so many other wonderful sponsors, and not just for manufacturing. For instance, JCPenney helped launch 36 rookie teams in Michigan this year. We thank all the First sponsors who help support the young people in these teams. Now, Paul, what are these two alliances thinking right now?
Right now, the Blue Alliance is thinking, please, autonomous, please work. Because they're the better team through the rest of the game. But that deficit is too big to overcome.
They're digging themselves a hole right out the get-go, aren't they? Okay, well, it's going to come down to this autonomous period. This could really decide our state champion. Here we go, Paul.
Here we go, finals match 3, Jimmy. This is for all the marbles. Winners go on to the World Championship in St. Louis.
Okay, we seem to have a slow-to-begin robot in autonomous. We have a swing and a miss over here in the red.
So look, 33 adjusted their autonomous mode to wait. 67 and 33 were banging each other. Now it's even, 2 tubes and 2 tubes. This truly is in the Blue Alliance's favor.
Okay.
Because their mini-bots are faster and their tube play is faster. So let's see if they can execute. They got step 1.
So now it's all about execution during the teleoperation.
Right. So this one's going to come down to tubes. The key is here to really ensure a win. If you win the mini-bot race, you
big hits in the middle of the field there, Paul.
Yeah, 70 is vicious when they're on track.
Well, they're just rocking the robots. I've never seen them bounce around so much.
But notice this: the Red Alliance has a bank full of tubes in their zone. So look, a completed logo by Red, a completed logo by Blue.
Wow. And look at this, they've covered up both their Uber tubes on the top shelf there.
And the Blue Alliance now has 60 points in tubes on that top row. And look at this, that triangle, 245, the Adam bots from Adams High School and Stony Creek High School. All they have to do now is complete that logo, and it's going to be tied up on the top row. Adam bots cannot get their arm up.
They seem to have some problems there.
It's up, though. and over and good.
It's up and over. My goodness, you could just see the fatigue in these robots. They've been through a lot.
Now look, the Blue Alliance is up by 2 points because of that red tube, okay?
Yeah.
The Red Alliance, now they've tied it up.
And look at that, they completed another logo on the second run. Oh, we have a lane violation.
So, the Blue Alliance is saying, look, we're going to dominate the logos here. We are going to get the logos on you, and the Red Alliance needs to get that triangle right in front of us here, Jimmy.
Okay.
And if they don't get it...
They're banging at each other, trying to get position.
So look, Red Alliance is saying, we're going to get Mini-Boss before you. But look, the Blue Alliance is there. They're lined up. They're ready. The Red Alliance, it's all Mini-Bot. Okay, Blue Alliance won it.
Blue Alliance?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
What happened?
The Red Alliance disabled their tower.
They disabled their tower by deploying early?
It looks like it. We'd have to get the official word from the referees. But the Blue Alliance won the race. The Red Alliance took second. But that second Red Alliance robot apparently deployed early.
So this could be the deciding factor, Paul. It could come down to a penalty with an early deployment. They know that the game is going to ride on this decision, don't they?
Yeah, and the student is explaining to the ref that it's physically impossible for his robot to launch early. This referee had a horrible angle, and I'm telling you, Jimmy, if this student proves to this referee, they better not announce this score because it's going to be brutal. They really need to hold on reading the score here because this referee may, and I say may, have made a mistake. But we don't know. We will know in a minute.
We're going to know in a minute here, and they're calling out the penalties, which probably means we're about to hear a score.
For the final one match three. And here come our scores.
We are going to announce the score, Paul.
So it looks like it's going to stand, and it's going to be Blue Alliance.
Wow. We have our State of Michigan champion, and it is the Blue Alliance. Heather's with them now. Heather.
The Blue Alliance has won the Michigan State Championships. They are now the new champions, and you can see they are excited and very busy in celebration right now. We have Team 33, 70, and 67 that made up this Blue Alliance. They were the number 4 seed going up against the number 2 seed. They beat the red team in the first match by just a hair, by 1 point. Let's see if we can get someone to talk. Come on over here. I know you guys had some troubles with your robot to begin with. A couple of times you ended up pulling through and fixing it. How much better does it feel to kind of win the championships like that?
It's a huge weight lifted off our shoulders. It's just an amazing feeling. My heart's still racing. Oh my God.
All right, well, the next step is you guys are the champions. So you're going to go to the World Championships in St. Louis. How excited?
I'm so excited. We're going to win Worlds. We're going to do it.
Woo! Do you guys ever have a doubt that this couldn't happen?
I've never had a doubt that we couldn't win it. I was starting to have doubts that we might not win it. I mean, this is such close competition here. So close, both sides fought such a great fight. But I mean, we did it, and I'm so happy we did it.
All right, well, congratulations. We wish you guys the best of luck in St. Louis. You guys are looking at your new Michigan State champions. Back over to you.
Paul, we have a new state champion. Let's take a look at some replay. What decided that final crucial contest?
Well, again, in the middle rack, you don't think that it makes a difference, but the Blue Alliance was able to complete a logo on the middle rack, 2 logos for that matter. That gives them 12 points for each logo. That takes if you have 2 logo pieces on the middle rack, it's only 4 points. When you add that last piece, it moves it to 12. That's 8 points each. That's 16 points right there.
And there's your difference. We have a state champion. Stick with us. We're handing out trophies when the first in Michigan Robotics Championship, powered by Chevrolet, returns.
If we can take the battery from the Chevy Bolt and get it into our robot, imagine the possibilities. If it can run a car like that and not have to be recharged so many times, imagine what it can do for a robot.
Call her. Okay.
Hey.
You haven't left yet.
No, I'm boarding now. What's up?
Would you mind doing it again?
Last time.
Oh. Sweet.
The all-new Chevy Cruze with the My Chevrolet app. The remote control car is finally here.
Well, no, she's just playing with us.
Welcome back to the First in Michigan Robotics Championship powered by Chevrolet. We have a state champion, and Heather Zara is with those winning alliance teams right now for our awards presentation. Heather, take it away.
Hey guys, here behind me we do have the 3 teams that make up your new Michigan State champions of the Michigan First Robotics competition. So everyone, please give them a big round of applause. We have some very special awards to give out to them. And to do just that, we have General Motors Vice Chair Thomas Stevens.
On behalf of Chevrolet and General Motors, I'm thrilled to present to the 3 captains of our championship teams their trophies. When I think about it, I think about your ingenious robots, but just as important, I think about that cool performance and gracious professionalism under extreme pressure. It's just fantastic, and to me, that represents the essence of what First Robotics is all about. So I want to first thank you for being part of First Robotics, and secondly, congratulate you on winning the championship. Let's hear it.
They certainly did give us a whole lot to look at today. A lot of entertainment for Paul Copioli and Heather Zara. I'm Jimmy Rhodes. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year.
I vow to be ready to go whenever you are. I vow to work even after the sun goes down, and to take a tank of gas as far as she'll go. I vow to be the most fuel-efficient Sierra ever. And now use your $14.95 PowerTech discount to get a total value of $6,000 on the 2011 Sierra PowerTech. It's the best Sierra ever.